We would like to invite our first speaker, Comrade Ong Ye Kung, on stage to give his address. Comrade Ong Ye Kung. Comrade Ong is the Assistant Secretary General of NTUC, Chairman of E2I, and Executive Secretary of National Transport Workers Union. Comrade Ye Kung, please.
Party Chairman, SecGen, members of CEC, comrades, friends, not forgetting my young brothers and sisters from NTUC. They are in different color shirts in one row. Good morning. Today I'll just make one speech in English, starting with some stories. In 1997, I was a young public officer in Public Service Division, Prime Minister's Office, in charge of HR. At that time, we had a problem. The Ministry of Environment had a problem with their unions, who is in charge of the EHO, Environmental Health Officers. The collective agreement negotiation broke down and is in a stalemate. So as a young officer, my permanent secretary at that time called me in and said, here are some parameters, go and try solve the problem. So our team went, worked with the union, worked with the ministry, and we sealed the deal. How we managed to do that was really a change of mindset. That from looking at the EHO job as something low value added and therefore low pay, we say let's pay them higher or make it more professional, give it a career path. But this change of mindset made us seal the deal. Fast forward, year 2000, US-Singapore Free Trade Agreement negotiations was launched. Straight away after launching, we had another problem. It was a make or break, deal breaker problem. And that has to do with the way we approach the services negotiations. For us in Singapore, our approach is what we call a positive list system. That means at the start of the negotiations, all services sector are closed. And then we list one by one, sector by sector, activity by activity, what are the areas we are prepared to open. It's a little bit like our U-turn sign. You cannot anyhow U-turn, but when there's a U-turn sign, then you U-turn. The Americans work on a different approach, which is a negative list approach. At the starting point, everything is open. Then we discuss what are the areas that are sensitive, and we want it closed. And so at that time, my permanent secretary, now Minister Khaw Boon Wan, I remember he said, Ong Ye Kung, you go dive deep into negative list system and find out what it's all about. I still remember. And then my minister, Minister George Yeo, said, go and consult all the ministries, and if every ministry support, we can move to a negative list system. So a major change of mindset. So like doing block visit, I walked the corridors of every ministry by ministry, and several months later, our team managed to persuade every ministry to come on board. Paper was written to Cabinet. Cabinet agreed that we move to a negative list system. And that was a major turning point that allowed us to seal the deal eventually. Again, a shift in mindset. Fast forward again, 2005, I was posted to the Workforce Development Agency. At that time, our team looked at the system of training workers and we felt something is missing because the great majority of our funding are going to employers to support the training of their workers. The logic is actually good because we are saying employers know best what their workers need. But something is missing because when you listen to the unions, when you talk to the self-help groups, they say there are people who are unemployed. They have no employers. There are contract and casual workers who don't have formal working relationship with the employer. And there are also employees trying to retrain themselves to move to another industry. And we cannot expect their employers to sponsor them for that. And so we thought, let's build a different system. Let's move some of the funds and set up training institutions so that they offer courses at subsidized rates, and then workers become empowered to go there, enroll, take charge of their training, take charge of their career. At that time, my minister is Dr. Ong Ye Kung. We presented some of these ideas to him. He said, why not? Go try it out. Try out a couple of training centers and see how it goes. And so we did. We tried it out. Today, I think there are about 50 such training centers, and it has become the backbone and the key feature of the adult training system today. So, fast forward one more time, 2010. Productivity is the buzzword. We have a committee, NPCEC, National Productivity and CET Council, chaired by DPM Teo. And so with the support of our SecGen, Lim Swee Se, we went to the council and said, why not give the NTUC a grant of $30 million? We'll run a scheme that's different from most government schemes. That means we go to companies, we say, we give you some grant, upgrade your technology, upgrade your equipment, machinery, but in return, give some pay increases to the low-wage workers. And today, many companies have come forward, and we have covered 20,000 low-wage workers to raise their salaries. Why do I tell all these stories? Because I believe that under the PAP government, we have a system that enables changes from within, that enables changes of mindset. And this system is possible because there's room to experiment, there's room to take some risk, push the boundaries, and break old mold when it's possible. And these are just my own experiences, and I'm sure many other people have many other experiences about breaking molds, about making changes from within. And it's important we continue to have this system, strengthen it, improve it, because the world is changing, the society is changing. And we can never, ever go into a maintenance mode, because the job of nation building never stops, and we must continue to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Comrade Ye Kung.